Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Antigua's opposition plans to boycott the 2017 budget presentation. That's our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Tuesday, January 17. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Nicole Best. Good evening. The leader of the opposition United Progressive Party, Harold Lavelle, says his party will not attend Friday's budget presentation by Prime Minister Gaston Brown. Lavelle says they will instead stage a protest outside Parliament to register their dissatisfaction with the government's handling of the economy.
Administration has done absolutely nothing for the people of Antigua and Barbuda. We have received nothing but hot air for the past 2.5 years. We have mounted protests. The people of Antigua and Barbuda have raised their voices. We have called for a lowering of the price at the pump for gas and diesel, and we are calling for the price to be $10 or below, in keeping with OECS prices. We are looking at the fuel variation and the hardship that it is causing.
Although they do not plan to be present for the presentation, the UPP leader says his MPs will participate in the debate.
We will participate in the budget debate. Make no doubt about that. We will participate in the budget debate, but we are not going to entertain the Prime Minister with his budget presentation. We need to make the point, and we will make the point. So the most important aspect of the picket is for us to show the people of Antigua and Barbuda that we are fed up and we've had enough.
Grenada's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell has accepted the resignation of former cabinet member Alexandra Otway-Noel less than a week after she announced her decision to quit. Otway-Noel, who was responsible for the Citizenship by Investment program, stepped down on Friday. There was widespread speculation that she would pursue the post of opposition leader, but Otway-Noel said on Monday she would not be leaving the ruling New National Party. Health Minister Nicholas Steele read the statement on behalf of Prime Minister Mitchell, who thanked her for her openness and contribution after meeting with her to discuss her plans to continue as an MP.
He noted that her resignation as a minister will not be a loss to the nation's politics, as she is a committed and continuing fighter for the empowerment of the people as a member of Parliament for South St. George and as a proud serving member of the New National Party.
Still in Grenada, that country has recorded its first case of microcephaly. The mother of the child has not been publicly identified, nor has the sex of the child been disclosed. Health Minister Nicholas Steele only disclosed the information on Tuesday after he was quizzed on the matter by the media. He said the infant was born during the last quarter of 2016. Steele said the ministry did not want to raise any alarm in the country over the matter and chose not to reveal any information until now. Microcephaly is a birth defect where a baby's head is smaller than expected when compared to babies of the same sex and age. It has been linked to the Zika virus, which is caused by the Aedes aegypti mosquito. Steele said that Zika infection has been stabilized in Grenada and no new cases of the disease have been recorded recently. At the height of the Zika outbreak, 11 people were diagnosed with the Guillain-Barré syndrome, that's the GBS. That's another Zika-related illness in which the body's immune system attacks part of the peripheral nervous system, which can lead to paralysis and sometimes death. 2 of the people who contracted GBS in Grenada have since died. Removing technical barriers to regional trade is the focus of a workshop currently underway in Guyana. It's being facilitated by the World Trade Organization and the Caribbean Regional Organization for Standards and Quality, CROSQ. Ivor Wharton of Capital News has the details.
Striking a balance between the facilitation of trade globally and keeping societies safe and healthy was part of a workshop conducted by the World Trade Organization in collaboration with CARICOM Regional Organization for Standards and Quality, CROSQ, for regulatory bodies. Eric Wistrom of the Trade and Environment Division said the workshop is critical because of the changes to the business environment globally.
As tariffs have come down, countries are using other ways that can restrict trade. So it's trying to achieve a balance between what you can do to protect health or protect the environment, etc., while not creating unnecessary obstacles to trade. So it's a regional workshop for the Caribbean region, English speaking. It was organized also at the request of the Caribbean region.
He explained that in a number of instances, many of the regulations implemented by governments can be justified.
Right. For instance, countries have the right to make sure that the food is safe, or that it's of sufficient quality, or that toys do not have toxins in them that could be dangerous. So all these things are rights that you can do under WTO, but you cannot apply the measure in a way that is perhaps discriminatory, or many issues relate to nutrition and food labeling. So how far can you go in the name of what type of label you should put in the food, how much fat, how much salt, how much sugar? Countries have, again, the right to do this, to address these kinds of problems that are arising, but it's always tricky to try to find that balance. These agreements refer a lot to science, to international standards, and respecting these.
Trumel Redmond of CROSQ said the workshop was aimed at capacity building and explained that across the region there is a recognition for the need to develop and revise legislation.
In some instances, the regulations can become outdated, and in fact quite a few countries are in the process currently in revising their National Standards Act, which speaks to the role of the National Bureau of Standards in a given country as to its role and function. So I think countries have recognized the need to develop and modernize their laws so that they can better facilitate trade both nationally, regionally, and internationally on a global scale.
Haiti's President-elect Jovenel Moïse is on a two-day visit to the Dominican Republic, and this is taking place this week. Moïse touched down in Santo Domingo on Monday and has been holding talks with business leaders as well as visiting a number of farms and businesses in different sectors. He also met with his host leader Danilo Medina, where he raised questions on matters of cooperation between the two countries. Haiti and the Dominican Republic share the island of Hispaniola, and Moïse said he believes that for this reason, Port-au-Prince and Santo Domingo should normalize relations. The Dominican leader said the visit by Moïse augurs well for relations between the neighboring countries. Moïse is scheduled to leave Santo Domingo on Wednesday. Still to come in Caribbean Newsline, online transportation company, that's Uber, comes under scrutiny in Trinidad and Tobago. Stay with us, there's more news after the break. Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and CaribVision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today.
Get ready ready for the Caribbean's most original carnival, Dominica's Carnival, Mass Dominic 2017, February 4th to the 28th. Revel in the splendor of a masquerade band. Experience the parades, the non-stop fetes, Dominica Nights, Dominiki Do, Mass Dominic, the real mass. Come, revel with us. Visit us online at dominicafestivals.com or call us at 767-255-8221.
The Trinidad and Tobago government is seeking legal advice to determine whether online transportation company Uber can continue to operate in the country. Less than 24 hours after the company activated its ride-sharing app in Port of Spain and San Fernando, the Ministry of Works and Transportation issued a statement saying that while Uber is known internationally, local authorities were concerned over the legality of its operations in the Twin Island Republic. Akash Samaru of CNC3 has this report.
Uber is an online transportation network company where you can request a driver who picks you up at your doorstep. So we decided to try it ourselves. So we activated the app and requested a lift from St. Vincent Street to Gonzales in Belmont. Well, the app is now telling me that my driver will be John, and John is coming in a Honda Accord licensed PCL 601. And within a minute and a half, Uber vehicle arrived. We then asked John, our Uber driver, about the process he went through before being selected by Uber.
We had a meet and greet sort of session in Radisson. I went there, registered, brought my documents, certificate of character and so on. We did our assessment online. The assessment that was done and evaluated you.
In fact, an Uber spokesperson told us that all drivers are subjected to rigorous background checks and psychological testing carried out by an independent firm. But there seems to be a problem with the legality of the service Uber provides. CNC3 understands that a meeting was held today at the Ministry of Transport, and Uber may be considered illegal, similarly to PH taxis. But Uber has maintained that it is not a taxi service, but an online service provider. Uber is of the view that the drivers are not employees of the company, and Uber provides the platform for the service. Uber believes that distances itself from the Trinidad and Tobago Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Act.
Meantime, the ministry says that while it's investigating the issue, the public should exercise caution and due diligence. Still in Trinidad and Tobago, following last week's murder of a 16-year-old girl on her way to school, Education Minister Anthony Garcia says more will be done to ensure the safety of students during commute times. CNC3's Janelle Bernard tells us more.
An approach involving all facets of the education system is needed to ensure the safety of the country's students. This is according to the Education Minister Anthony Garcia, who says his ministry will do everything possible to ensure that students are safe outside of school hours.
We will be putting things in place to assure that our students, when they leave school and before they return to their homes, they are safe.
Garcia says the current school transportation system will be looked at to determine how it can be strengthened.
We have in place a system of transport that will assist the students in their movement from home to school and from school to home. The student who met her untimely death was one of the recipients.
Principal of Northeastern College, Jesslyn Ramla, says the school's population has been left traumatized following the death of student Rachel Ramkisoon.
Both teachers and students are very distraught right now, but we are trying to comfort and console each other.
And President of the National Parents Teachers Association, Zina Ramatali, says a community effort is needed to secure children.
Guyana's opposition People's Progressive Party, the PPP, is criticizing government's decision to establish a law school there. In fact, it's calling for the Memorandum of Understanding that government signed for the establishment of the J.O.F. Haynes Law School of the Americas to be scrapped. We get the details of that story from Handel Duncan of HGP TV.
Last week, Guyana University College of the Caribbean, UCC, and Law College of the Americas, LCA, signed the MOU in what was described as a public-private partnership agreement On Monday, PPP executive and former Attorney General Anil Nandlal called for the agreement to be scrapped.
Our view is that it should be cancelled and every effort should be made to be part of the regionally driven process, of which we are committed and obligated under our treaty.
Nandlal asked a plethora of questions about the bona fides of the proposed school and its students.
What assurances do we have that their programs, their courses of studies, and their certification will be recognized even in the Caribbean, worse yet further afield? To which reputable and known academic institutions or professional bodies are they accredited or with which they share affiliation?
Nandlal also questioned what quality control, scrutiny, or what steps, if any, have been taken to verify and authenticate the academic integrity and standards of the two scarcely known institutions. That's the University College of the Caribbean and the Law College of the Americas. Here is Professor Dennis Gale, President of the University College of the Caribbean.
The partnership at the University College of the Caribbean, Law School of the Americas, has internally quality control as a core attribute, and UCC itself is internationally accredited, and UCC has a long record of offering excellent educational programs in a number of areas, including law.
In a series of questions, Nandlal queried whether any needs assessments was done to determine whether the Guyanese market can sustain more than 25 attorneys at law being added to the profession annually.
And over in Jamaica, sections of the island were rattled by a 5.2 magnitude earthquake on Tuesday morning. The quake occurred shortly after 4 a.m. and it was located off the south coast of Cuba at a depth of 11 kilometers. The earthquake unit of the Mona campus of the University of the West Indies says it was felt in Portmore, St. Catherine and Snow Hill, Portland. And ahead in Caribbean Newsline Sport, we'll have details of the upcoming 2017 Caribbean Club Championship. Stay with us. There's sport after this break.
Welcome to my island. Welcome to my Caribbean island. Welcome to my island.
Maybe in my next life, I'll become a golfer.
The Jonkonu's fife, the rhythm of the drum, the strum of the pan, the lilt of the voice from island to mainland. All pigments and tones, old and young, his and hers, all we are one. You, we, me. This is UE TV.
Two-time defending champions Central FC have been drawn in a tough Group D for the 2017 Caribbean Club Championship. The Trinidadian outfit will come up against the likes of Jamaica powerhouses Portsmouth United, Scholars International of Cayman Islands and SV Transvaal from Suriname. The group will be hosted at the Otto Bolton Stadium in Port of Spain from March 6 to the 13th. Central won last year's tournament when they beat fellow Trinidadian side W Connection in the final at the Stadio Silvio Cator in Port-au-Prince. In 2015, Central also beat W Connection in the final at the Otto Bolton Stadium. Montego Bay United will host Group C at the Sports Complex in the Western Jamaica tourist resort city and will clash with Elite Sports Club of Cayman Islands, Grenadines FC of Antigua and Barbuda, and Club Barcelona Atletico of the Dominican Republic. The group runs from February 27 to March 6. Meanwhile, Antigua's Green Bay Hoppers will host Group A at the Antigua Recreation Ground from February 20 to 27, while Vincentian outfit of System 3 Sport Academy will host Group E at Victoria Park in Kingstown. A record 20 sides from 11 countries divided into 5 groups will contest the preliminary phase from February 20 to March 13. The group winners will advance to the final round carded for May 13 to 21, with the top 3 sides qualifying for the upcoming edition of the 2017 CONCACAF Champions League. Meanwhile, Guyana winger Kelsey Benjamin gets his wish to be in professional football and has been included in Trinidad-based football club Caledonia AIF. That's the AIA. HGP's Calvin Chapman has that story.
Caledonia, which first sent the skillful winger to Maloney FC in the lower division of the Eastern Football Association, has decided that Benjamin is now ready to play at the Pro League level. Kelsey is a really talented kid, and many of the senior players have encouraged us to promote him into the first team, said Morvant Caledonia United head coach Rajesh Lachu. He has the potential to reach very far once his attitude and commitment matches his talent. I think he will become a top player, added Lachu. Georgetown Football Club manager Faisal Khan, whose club Kelsey Benjamin formerly outfitted for, said the move is the first of a very methodical arrangement with exposing Guyana's talent, and that there is a plan to place 3 other lads in the Caledonia setup to have them learn to become professionals. And once they can fulfill their potential in Trinidad, the sky is the limit for those players. Meanwhile, Khan is also busy making arrangements for senior team striker Sheldon Holder to go to Finland for trials.
Still in football, the Italian-born women's football coach Caroline Morachi has arrived in Port of Spain to officially take up her role as head coach of that country's women's football team. Morachi was announced as the new women's head coach. At the same time, the TTFA announced that the now resigned Tom Sainthy would lead the senior men's squad. Speaking to the media upon her arrival on Monday, former coach of Canada's women's team says she had been kept abreast about the women's Soca Warriors performance. Morachi rolled out some of her plans for the team.
I think that physically this country has very big people. You are very big. In physical standpoint, I think that we can ask a lot of our players. We will start with the player in football test, and from that we will start our job. I'm not a coach that like just to defend. I think that the best defensive phase is to attack, but to do that we have to be organized. I know that we have to do a lot of work, but I know also that football is simple. It's just our job to make simple what we want to teach.
The new head coach explained that her role with the women has already begun, and she said she plans to be scouting for more talent for national duty.
We look into the player with Jamal, with the team manager Ginelle. We have the list of the player and also potential player for national team. So we are here to have a look to the player that already play in national team, but also to the player that never play in national team. This national team is open to everybody, and of course we have to make some choice.
Guyana is making early preparations to take on their regional counterparts in the sport of rugby. The Rugby Union's Vice President Joshua Griffith hopes it will help them maintain their good form from their last season. Isan Griffith of Capital News tells us more.
The Rugby Union continued its 2016-17 domestic season over the weekend with a mixed game, North versus South, at the National Park Rugby Field. According to the Union, the commencement of the season is aimed at having the players in shape for the upcoming international and domestic competitions. The Union Vice President Joshua Griffith details the Union plans for the season.
For this year, focus is to maintain and build on what we did last year with regards to the 15th and 7th team. We have the Hong Kong Sevens, which is one of the major calendar events this year, and preparation has started, albeit a little bit slow. It has started nevertheless, but the Union this year is looking towards developing its youth program and its female rugby program, while also pushing for improvement with its men's sevens team.
Regionally, Guyana will play Curacao and will host arch-rival Trinidad and Tobago in June at home in the Rugby Americas North 7 tournament. As such, the union is in need of funding. Griffith said that with the help from some private companies and government, the union is still in need of funding to push its programs for this year.
But the union will continue to reach out to corporate Guyana and do its own fundraising activities to raise funds so that we can cover the costs associated with international tournaments and even the local tournaments.
And in news of horse racing, Jamaican Andrew Ramjet rode a double to grab a share of the lead at the Turf Paradise, while his son Andre had a single winner as they made their presence felt at the Southwestern United States racetrack in Phoenix, Arizona on Saturday. The veteran rider opened his account when he partnered with 5-year-old Bet the Harbor to beat the 4-year-old and upwards by a neck. Going 6.5 furlongs, Bet the Harbor trailed out of the gates but snatched the lead on the first turn under pressure from Sunset Brandy and Wannabe Like Grandpa. Ramjet and Bet the Harbor pulled away in the stretch but were then forced to stave off the fast-finishing 3 fast 7s to reach the wire first. And that's the sport. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Welcome to my island. Welcome to my Caribbean island. Welcome to my island.
Maybe in my next life, I'll become a golfer.
Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and CaribVision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today. Again, the major developments of this day. Antigua and Barbuda's opposition says it will boycott this Friday's budget presentation. And in sport, Trinidad Central FC to face tough opponents in this year's Caribbean Club Championships. That's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sport around the clock, log on to condanews.com. We'll be back here again tomorrow. But from all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching and do have yourselves a very good night.